All right, looks like we're recording now. Welcome everybody to yet another HubSpot user group for B2B technology here in the USA. We have Dan Rosenbaum, who's a partner development manager over there at HubSpot. When I asked for an AI expert at HubSpot, this was the person who was most enthusiastically recommended to me. So he's going to be giving some insights into what HubSpot currently has, is going to come up with, as well as a little product demo of how their really super cool AI tools can be put to use for B2B tech companies. Dan's also my slide advancer here. Thank you for that. My name is Jen. I'm the owner of Kiwi Creative. We are a HubSpot Platinum Solutions partner, and we work exclusively with clients in the B2B SaaS and technology industry, which is why we've been leading this group here for the past several years. I was sick of going to events with multi-million-dollar e-commerce companies and examples and lessons, so we wanted to really bring it down to the B2B tech audience specifically here. And with that, I will let Dan intro himself.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Jen. As Jen mentioned, I am a partner development manager here at HubSpot. So that means that for every HubSpot partner, there's a PDM. So I am the main point of contact for 25 certified HubSpot partners. Kiwi is not one of my partners, but we have been connected in the past. So when it came time for this hug to come up, I thought it was a great opportunity to share some knowledge. I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary in September at HubSpot. I have my roots going all the way back to basic general onboarding, then getting involved as a channel consultant in HubSpot, and now as a PDM. While I was a channel consultant, I was the global AI subject matter expert. Self-proclaimed in a lot of ways. I kind of raised my hand for it, but have been really geared into AI in general, and then especially the AI tools that HubSpot is developing. I'm also co-founder of SynthMinds AI, which is an AI education and integration agency, which just kind of started sometime last year, just started doing some consulting and some project work, and now have multiple courses online on several different platforms that people are really loving. So it's always cool. Today, we're going to be talking about AI in HubSpot specifically. And what that means is that there's a specific set of tools that we're going to talk about, and I'll get into those in just a bit. But before that, I want everyone to just drop into the chat. And if you have questions, as Jen said, drop them in the chat. I'll be multitasking over here. But just rate your familiarity 1 to 5 with the AI tools that are inside of HubSpot. I'm not talking AI in general. I'm just talking HubSpot AI. Some 3s, 1, 4. Excellent. All right, cool. So we have a lot of middle of the road folks, and a lot of folks maybe some of this stuff is pretty new to you. So that's good. I'll say I'm at like a solid 4 out of 5. It's really tough to be a 5 out of 5 because things are changing so fast. So if there's something that one of you all who's a 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 out there who knows something I don't, feel free to share that in the chat. We're not going to be all inclusive of every little feature here today. We're just going to go over the fun stuff. But primarily, we're going to talk about ChatSpot, Campaign Assistant, and Content Assistant inside of HubSpot. And I'll also be teasing a couple of AI features that are on the horizon in just a bit. So agenda-wise, we're going to go over the basics of ChatSpot. We're going to talk about some features there, talk use cases. We'll get into the tool and actually play with it. And then we'll talk about Content and Campaign Assistant, kind of do the same thing. And then just talk about what these tools actually mean for you, users, maybe clients of yours, and just kind of the overall, why do these matter? Why do I care about these? So we're going to start with ChatSpot. And to get started, ChatSpot is a chat assistant that's inside of HubSpot that is using OpenAI's ChatGPT in the background to power its interactions. But it does so much more than that because it acts as a integrated co-pilot inside your HubSpot. That means it can actually take actions on your HubSpot account and eventually will be learning from your HubSpot data as well. So as I said, it works by taking your question, feeds it through ChatGPT so that it can kind of figure out what you're getting at. And then it's got this whole laundry list of actions that it can take. And based on what you asked, it'll take a best guess essentially at the action that you're asking it to take. And it'll go ahead and do that action for you. ChatSpot is for really any HubSpot user who wants to save time and get their productivity cranking. So if you want to automate some tasks, if you want to just quicken some tasks, if you want to do some research, if you want to get better marketing campaigns out faster, pretty much anyone can use ChatSpot, and the tool's growing all the time. So it's a really exciting time to be a HubSpot customer right now. Really good question. We're going to talk about Kirsty there. We're going to talk about that. And in fact, I'll give you a little spoiler here. Right on the about privacy and sharing of data, right on the ChatSpot homepage here, there's a little thing down here. Data is not used to train models, and your HubSpot data is never shared with third parties, including OpenAI. So everything is nice and private. Really good question. So just a quick laundry list, not exhaustive at all, things that ChatSpot can do. You can have it help you create text for emails, for marketing materials, like blogs or marketing emails, sales emails. You can have it build simple object reports for you, create images, do research. You can ask our knowledge base questions directly, so you don't have to go searching yourself. You can ask the HubSpot Academy questions, so you don't have to go searching yourself, and much more. I'm not even going to say out loud all of these ones because there's just too many. So I think it's always helpful when we're talking about a kind of nebulous AI tool like this, talking through use cases. So in terms of who this is good for, I have three personas here: Admin Anna, Sales Sally, and Marketing Michael. This is just a kind of basic rundown of how an admin or a salesperson or a marketing person might get some benefit out of a tool like ChatSpot. So an admin might want help navigating HubSpot, asking technical questions, maybe creating some basic reports, that kind of stuff. ChatSpot can help with all that. A sales rep, Sales Sally here, might want help writing outreach emails to prospects or follow-up emails to cold leads, maybe doing some research, finding new leads, all that good stuff. And then, of course, Marketing Michael, the content machine over here, wants help creating that content, building campaigns, doing research on topics and keywords, and making snazzy taglines and everything. So every one of them has some use cases in here, just in ChatSpot alone and beyond. But we'll talk about ChatSpot to start. And yes, Barbara, I believe that ChatSpot is available on all licenses right now. Okay, so let's just play around with it because that's the best way to see. And I'm going to do, I think, stop sharing and reshare here. Give me a sec. Let's do entire screen. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm realizing you probably couldn't see what I was pointing at earlier. This is the privacy statement down at the bottom there. Data is not used to train models. So the way that I like to use ChatSpot the best, because you can just start talking to it if you want. I like to go based on templates. Again, the way that this works is it's taking whatever you put in it and it's running it through and trying to figure out what your intention is and figuring out which of its laundry list of actions you're trying to get it to do. That can be really hard if you're just typing stuff in here. It does a pretty good job, but it's it's still in beta. It's still likely to error out on you. So what I like to do is just go based on templates. These are kind of tried and true ways to phrase a question so that you get a really good output. So in the templates, you can see that we've got these all split up by category over here. So starting with admin Anna, the person who might want to get some information, navigation around HubSpot, or creating some reports and stuff. You can kind of run through here and see what's available. So like under the CRM section, for example, you can see I can add different objects. I can add notes to specific contacts. I can do some other stuff, review notes, summarize records that exist. But maybe I'm wondering how to do something in HubSpot specifically. So it's probably in the HubSpot how-to section as an admin. So I can either learn with the academy or I can just ask about using HubSpot. So maybe as an admin, I'm tasked with creating a sales sequence or something. A really good question, Julie, about adding a company from here instead of just in the CRM. This is one of those things where it's just really easy to just drop a company name, URL, and whatever else you want in here. If you're already living in ChatSpot, it's a really good opportunity to just like quickly, add things. And we'll get into an even better way to do this in just a bit. But going back to the HubSpot how-to, so you can see when I use the template, it says find HubSpot knowledge base articles about, and then insert topic or question. So this is what I mean by the templates have very specific language in them. If I ask this a different way, ChatSpot might get a little confused. So it's usually best just to use the templates. So let's do sending sequences. And so I can just use Google and type in like HubSpot send sequences. But I might have to search through some stuff. So this is giving me some possible information that I might be looking for. So it thinks that I am saying like it's not expecting as expect, or it's not behaving as expected. And then I can always learn more about sequences here, which just drops me into the troubleshooting. And so this isn't exactly what I was looking for. So I might want to like copy that, drop it in. And maybe I want to just change that a little bit, like how to send sequences. And so then this gets me what I want. So the nice thing about this is that I don't have to go trolling through a knowledge base article, as helpful as these are. What ChatSpot does, it kind of pulls out the relevant bits of that knowledge base article and tells me exactly, what to do here, which is nice. And if you want to start a new conversation, you can do that up here. And then you can always go back to your templates in the top and, do something like reporting. So maybe I want to find deals that are closing soon. That sounds good. So the template says find deals with a close date in month, day, or year. And I'll say March of this year. So as someone who is intimidated myself by the report builder, this can be a helpful tool. And it looks like it errored out here. So let's try just March. And so don't be intimidated by the errors here. Again, it's still in beta, so you're going to get these semi-often. Just give the errors a little unhappy face. And when it does give you what you want, give it a little happy face. That gives it feedback, letting it know that this was a preferred response, essentially. And so from here, not only can I see a quick rundown of things that are closing in March, I can even drop in and see that inside my HubSpot portal right from here. So it's a quick way just to kind of categorize, organize things, and then jump into HubSpot. The last thing I'll show you in ChatSpot, because we can't go through everything in here, company insights is really cool. So there's all sorts of things where you can research the latest news with companies, funding rounds, technology, competitors. So like if I want to find a list of HubSpot competitors, I can just type in HubSpot.com, for example. And it should return a list of what it's finding to be the top HubSpot competitors. So you can see from a marketing perspective, certainly, we see MailChimp, Marketo. These are definite competitors of ours. And the fun thing here is that you can kind of follow a rabbit hole once you start pulling this information. So maybe I see Marketo and I'm like, I want to learn more about them. So from here, I can either add that record to HubSpot directly. So Julia, for example, this would add a company record to HubSpot automatically. So I agree with you, like typing in, adding a company record directly, probably not super efficient, but something like this where you can add it to HubSpot based on a list that it generates, super helpful. If I click on the research option, it gives me some basic info like a description, annual revenue, some social media links. Interestingly, the technology that they use. So, big surprise, Marketo uses Salesforce, right? But you can see kind of everything else, and they're obviously a big enterprise company, so they have an enterprise tech stack, as you can see here. This might give you a headache when you look at it. But this information is important for when you're prospecting, not just with the big, enterprise companies here, but even smaller companies. Seeing the tech stack can help you determine, do they already have HubSpot? Do they not? Are they a Salesforce user? Like it can help you tailor your messaging to that prospect a little bit better. And that too, Emma, yeah, it's a lot easier to talk to a chatbot and have it do stuff than to learn how to use HubSpot, as easy as it is to use HubSpot. Okay. And then from here, some other fun things. I can subscribe to news about Marketo. So you can see it's successfully created. So like when there's new Marketo news now on the web, ChatSpot is just going to email me about it. I can view news about Marketo. So you can see I've got different news sources. If I don't feel like reading it, I can have ChatSpot summarize it. So this is kind of the rabbit hole that I'm talking about, where you can really get a lot of really in-depth information really, really quickly, and use summarizing tools, or just jump directly into news articles from here. And here's the description. So ChatSpot as a kind of like what I'll call a satellite tool, it's kind of separate in this format from the rest of your portal, is definitely an interesting tool. A lot of the power though comes when you're using ChatSpot in app. So a lot of you, if you have HubSpot, when I'm in the the context view or other records, you might see this little ChatSpot icon on the right hand side. If not, again, it's still in beta, so you might just have to sign up for it or something. But this pretty much has all the same power that the standalone ChatSpot tool has. It's just inside your portal here. So you can ask it lots of fun questions. Again, suggested prompts. These are essentially those templates that we talked about. Probably a good thing to utilize. So for example, if I want to summarize a contact record, maybe I want to do, this one here. Let's grab the email. So let's summarize this email. We'll see what it comes up with. So again, we're going to click into the contact and running through all the information there. I can just see some quick hits like the associated company, create date, email. If there was notes, there are no notes for this contact. If there were notes, it would give me a rundown of all the notes that have been taken on this contact. And it's, just gives me a quick sentence here about it. The thing that I love about ChatSpot in-app is if I am, trying to, make a sequence, like I said earlier, you can ask things about HubSpot while you're in HubSpot, which is great. So maybe building workflows. Maybe just like forget how to build a workflow. This gives you a really quick response on an example of where to navigate for those things. And then if you want to learn more, of course, again, they give you the links and the references to where it's pulling stuff from, so you can do deeper dives there. So that's pretty much ChatSpot shell. The only thing that we didn't really go over is the content side, which we're going to go over in just a bit, because we can use ChatSpot for that. There's also other tools.
We had one quick question in the chat before you switch over to that. Is it possible to use ChatSpot to summarize a meeting?
It depends. So it depends on how that meeting is captured. So if you have like a meeting transcript or something, you can certainly use ChatSpot. You can just drop the transcript in there and say, summarize this. If the meeting is directly inside of HubSpot, then let me see where this is. They just moved everything around on me, so pardon me. I forget where they put it, but we have a meetings tool, or a calls tool, might be this one. Let's hang out for a sec. So in the calls tool, which is under the CRM drop down on the left-hand side, calls. If you're logging calls with this, there's tools inside of the calling tool where you don't necessarily need to use ChatSpot to do it. It should just create summaries for you automatically. Thank you. So you can see there's a generate call summary here. This is just a random demo portal, and this call was, I don't even know, 0 seconds long. So clearly nothing was said. But if you're logging meetings through the HubSpot calling tool here, then there's the ability to generate call summaries. You can see that little sparkly star diamond thing. That usually means that it's an AI integrated tool there. And Michelangelo, I hear you on that. Again, still in beta. Give it the little unhappy face every time that happens. It helps the tool get smarter and smarter. And then when it does do well, give it the happy face so it knows the correct responses. And make sure you're using the templates too. Sometimes the tool just gets overwhelmed too, and you might have to just refresh the page. My greatest fear when demoing AI tools live is that they're going to just be totally busted on me and not give me the stuff that I want. But that's the game that we play here. And yeah, definitely, if you have Teams or Zoom integrated with HubSpot, this might get filled out for you automatically too. And Matt, for features that don't directly use HubSpot data, any difference between ChatSpot and ChatGPT? I would say right now, ChatSpot is really geared towards having those specific templates be used. So if you're wanting something that's maybe a little bit more creative or iterative, ChatGPT is probably a better bet. ChatSpot's power is in the actions that it can take inside your HubSpot portal. I'd say ChatGPT is better for maybe just general content creation in a silo if you're not wanting to do it inside of HubSpot. But good questions there. Okay. So that is a quick rundown of ChatSpot. Again, you can use it as a silo tool, or you can use it in-app if you've got the beta ungated for yourself. So that is good. So some of the things that we talked about, Admin Anna is interested in navigating, creating reports, searching the knowledge base. Sally, you can write prospecting emails inside of HubSpot, and that's going to get stronger and stronger because over time it's going to be able to take context from specific contacts, take your brand voice, and then implement all of those things together to make killer prospecting emails. Right now, we're not quite there yet, but you can still do some basic stuff inside of ChatSpot. Then Marketing Michael, we talked about research. We're going to get into creating content in just a bit. You can create taglines. You can do all sorts of things. Most of the stuff that you can do with ChatGPT directly, you can also do with ChatSpot and the related tools. And it's gonna be an iterative process for you when you're using ChatSpot or Content Assistant or Campaign Assistant versus just jumping into ChatGPT directly. Okay, so we're going to move on to Content and Campaign Assistant. Before I do, any questions around ChatSpot? Okay. If you do, hold on to them or drop them into the Q&A section down below, and I'll get to them later. So we're going to start with Content Assistant. And this is inside the existing HubSpot marketing tools and some other places. And this allows you to use AI to create and share content within the HubSpot ecosystem while you're in it. You don't have to leave to go somewhere and then copy and paste. It's all just inside. And then you can also draft, really anything that is text-based for the most part, emails, blog posts, social copy. You can do all that stuff really, really quickly and effectively. No difference, Kirsty, around privacy. All of these things use the OpenAI ChatGPT API to do all this magic in the background. And OpenAI has stated publicly that, and in their documentation, that whenever the API is being used, none of that information is used for training data. So all of these like pass-through tools that we're talking about, where it's using ChatGPT in the background, no data is shared. And Mallory, for A/B test results, not yet. I don't know if that's on the roadmap or not. Summarizing A/B test results, but is definitely something that if you use the A/B testing tool, it's probably pretty straightforward to see those things, or you can drop the results into something like ChatGPT directly and have that help you. Good question. Okay. So just a couple of things that the Content Assistant can do here with helping you create marketing emails, social copy, CTAs, blog ideas, anything you can imagine, really. But yeah, so let's take a quick look at it. So I have here, again, in that same dev portal that I have, when I go to the blog tool, which is under content blog, this also works for if I'm building landing pages or website pages, or if we're doing social posts or ads, anything like that. There's the option to generate an entire blog post. So I'm going to ask for some topics from the crowd. We're going to do some improv here. Give me some topics or ideas for a blog post. I want topic and purpose, maybe some background information, and who this is targeting. So good opportunity to just run it based on a use case in one of your businesses. And don't be shy now. If no one's got one, then I'll probably just do something around data privacy. Oh, that's a good one. Best poems for high school ELA classes. AI and HubSpot marketing. So if we can keep it maybe a little bit more broad, let's talk. Let's do this. Maybe writing poems for let's do this. Poem writing tips for high schoolers enrolled in ELA classes. Okay. That's probably good enough for now. And then you can pick the country of target audience. And if you have a specific blog inside of HubSpot, this dev portal has 1 million of them. So it doesn't super matter which one. I'll just put it into blog. And so it's percolating some ideas here, as you can see. So the nice thing here is that it's going to take your topic, it's going to spit out something for you to review, and give you some keyword and monthly search volume information and stuff like that. So this is probably not a super. I mean, it's a little niche here, Haley. So there's not really a lot of search volume with any of these, but it gives you some title ideas. So unlocking creativity, creative writing prompts for high school poetry. This is great. But we want something about ELA. So engaging lesson plans. That don't really want a lesson plan. Let's take this one and maybe I can do high school ELA poetry. That's great. You can also have it generate new titles for each one of these that are kind of similar. But I like this one after we've edited it. And now it's building a outline for the blog. So you can see it pulled forward my edited title, pops open a automatic description, explore innovative ways to inspire high school students in their poetry writing journey, tailored for ELA classes. Sounds great. And then some paragraphs. So it's kind of taking this sequentially where it's like, all right, let's get a title, let's get a description, and then let's build out a structure of different paragraphs with titles, some headers. And I can review these. I can regenerate any one of these that I want, and it will kind of keep the same idea, but adjust it a little bit. I can just physically edit these things or remove items that I don't want. I can add new paragraph headers. Maybe I want this to be a little bit longer. So I'll generate something with AI here. Cool. I like that. The impact, and then we can go into the power and whatever. So now that we've got all of these steps, I've got my outline, my title, my description. Now I can have it just create the blog based on all of that information. So the nice thing here is it kind of like dummy proofs this process, where if I just go into ChatGPT, I'll give that another shot. Maybe I put too much stuff in there. If I go to ChatGPT and I say, write me a blog about ELA poetry, etc., it'll like spit something out. It probably won't really ask me any questions. What this does is it makes sure that you're getting as much context into the prompt as possible before it actually creates something. And this is giving me problems. I'm pretty sure, Michael, that all of these tools are included in, free HubSpot on up. But this is giving me some issues here. This is cool. We all get to live my worst nightmare, which is an AI tool bugging out on me during a live demo. So instead, what I'll do is I will, let's put in regular blog. Oh, that's why. We've made 10,000 blogs already. That is funny. Okay. Let me see if I can just like delete one of these or something. Probably not. Let me open up a different portal for us. Let's do my other demo account. So it's not the AI tool. It's the fact that that demo portal has way too many blog posts in it already. So that's okay. Let's go content, blog. And while I'm getting back here, Christopher, good question. Right now, it doesn't pull from any internal data to generate these posts. Give me a sec. Poem writing tips for schoolers, LA classes. And let's do my English blog. So yeah, right now it's not going to pull in from anything that is inside of your HubSpot portal to generate this information. Something that is on the roadmap right now is something called brand voice. And what that means is that you can take a bunch of content that you've created previously and you can train these AI tools inside of HubSpot. You can train them on your brand voice. And so what that means is that you can take any email topic, whether that's a marketing email, a sales email, any blog that you're writing, and you can apply that brand voice to it, and it will use that information to make it sound more like your brand, which cuts down on editing time. So answer to that question is not yet. And subject matter information is pretty much just whatever it's trained on. So ChatGPT is trained on a large swath of the internet. I wish I could tell you which swaths specifically, but they don't like to share that information. So the subject matter expertise comes from whatever its training data is. And bots are also on the horizon, Kirsty. So we're gonna see support AI chatbots and stuff like that coming eventually. Don't have a date on that. But cool. So this time the blog generation worked. So you can see it pulled in a title for me, date. It's by Blogger Bobby, default because that's who I've gotten there. And it gives those different headers that it chose for me. I know I kind of ran through it, but it gives information, paragraphs. It generates this whole blog for me. And then from here, of course, I would want to maybe spruce it up with some images and stuff like that. So maybe like add, it's probably media. No, design. It's been a while since I've used the blog tool here. Just search image. Yeah, whatever. So I'll just throw this in here. And so for normal blog editing experience. So what I'm hoping for is that this will let me do something fun. Sorry, my computer's nice and slow today. Okay, it's not going to let me do it from here. And I think it's because it's a image slider. But other places where you might add an image, there's usually the ability with HubSpot AI to generate an image live right there. It's not cooperating with me right now, though. But the idea is that you could either do that in-app, or I could pop open, where are you? I could pop open ChatSpot, and I could say, generate an image of a high school class learning how to write poetry. So if you're kind of like overwhelmed by stock images, searches, stuff like that, the nice thing here is that we can use ChatSpot to generate images for us, so that we don't have to. And I mean, these are not that great. So you can say, maybe give it a different style. Clip art style. I don't want anything super hyper realistic here. So the idea is that you can use these AI tools in concert with each other to create whatever content you're looking for. And as I don't know what the right word is, unimpressive as some of the outputs might be. So clip art, not a supported one. Let's do digital art. So it takes a lot of the AI is not a magic button most of the time. Sometimes it feels like that, but you do kind of have to learn how to talk to it effectively, how to get what you're looking for. So digital art versus hyperrealism, with how good these tools are, probably better to do something that's not supposed to look super hyper realistic. And if you wanted to, you can grab one of these, make it your title image. You just hit that little download button and then drop it into your blog or whatever. So yeah, the idea that we can take these AI tools and use them in concert with each other kind of multiplies their effectiveness. And all of these things today, just as a reminder, they are the worst that they will ever be today. They're only going to get better and better over time. So with things like being able to apply your brand voice to it, taking these kind of nebulous tools like ChatSpot and Content Assistant and bringing them in an app more and more, so that I can just be, taking a paragraph and typing something, and maybe I don't like what I've got, so I can just highlight text, for example, hit the AI button, and I can rewrite that stuff, expand it, shorten it, change the tone, just with the couple of clicks from your mouse. So that expanded it for me, and boom, there we go. Just gonna add that one back in. So these tools right now, they're kind of scattered right now, but over time they're going to be more and more integrated into HubSpot. So it's important whenever you're bopping around in here, look for that little star icon, and then you got AI at your fingertips. And you can also do from the toolbar here, you can generate stuff, brand new, fresh. So right now, Kirsty, like if you use ChatGPT, you can certainly drop a PDF in and then have it generate stuff based on that. Right now, ChatSpot and Content Assistant and the rest, they're just text based, so you can't drop files in and have it use those files to leverage. But if you copy and paste like the text from a PDF, you can certainly use that information. But right now, it's all text based. So from a video, you'd have to grab the transcript and drop it in, for example. Okay. Any questions about Content Assistant here or things that I missed from the chat before we move on to Campaign Assistant? Okay. Let me get back to presentation here. Okay. So Campaign Assistant. This kind of takes a lot of the concepts that we've talked about already. And again, it's kind of like a little satellite app. Campaign Assistant will grow up over time and into the near future and will be more of an in-app experience. So just, be patient. The version that we're going to see here is still like almost alpha state. So just keep that in mind. And Campaign Assistant, actually, before I pop it open, it's a way to kind of put a topic and some basic information into an AI tool and have it create multiple assets for you within that topic. So you can have it create ads, landing pages, blog posts, everything that you need for like a full-fledged campaign. You can have in minutes just a quick many assets built out for it. And the way that you get there is Campaign Assistant. I will just drop this in the chat because this is really the only way to get to it. Again, kind of a micro app here. So you just log in using your regular HubSpot credentials and select new campaign. Where did I put you? There it is. Okay. So once you go to that URL and you log in, on the left-hand side, you see all your campaigns that you've built out. For each campaign, you're going to have your assets in the middle. So you can see you've got a bunch of ones for this. But I'm going to do a new campaign here. The title is going to be AI use cases for B2B businesses using HubSpot. So once you have the campaign there, now you have to just generate the assets, which is super quick. So it's going to ask you some questions like describe it, generate the content, and then, make the stuff. So let's start with, I don't know, a marketing email. So to describe the campaign, this campaign is all about using AI tools to supercharge B2B business practices, primarily geared towards businesses that use HubSpot as a CRM. Cool. Important things about my campaign: AI use, HubSpot tools, and peak efficiency. And the thing that I want my audience to do, visit our AI services page. Sure. And the writing style, lots of different ones here. And again, eventually this is going to be based on will have the ability to be based on your brand voice that you teach it. But right now, let's just do a witty one. And we'll let it think. So pretty much what this is doing is it's just dropping again into the ChatGPT API all of this information. This is the prompt, took all the information that I gave it, and here is the email. So unleash the power of AI for B2B business, HubSpot integration, discover cutting edge technology. Okay, so it's not horrible. It's a little short, right? not super compelling. But from here, I can start working with some stuff. So the nice thing is that I can drop this directly into my HubSpot account just by clicking on, create this email in HubSpot, and it pops open the email builder for me, marketing email builder in this case, and it gives me a kind of a basic template. So the really cool thing about this is like it drops my title in, it gives me the different paragraphs with headers, it gives me those CTAs. So visit our AI services page. Just kind of saves me some time in the building process here. And then from here, we're going to give this another go. Will it let me? Yes. Okay, cool. So for this one, there's the generate option. So I'm going to generate, let's do abstract AI robots using hammers to build computers. Let that come up with something weird. So again, the nice thing here is that everything's kind of integrated. So I don't need to like go to ChatSpot to create this image. When I am looking at a single image creator inside the app, I can just make stuff. And that is weird. It's as weird as I wanted it to be. This one's good. Let's insert that one. So again, the image generation will get better with time, and that was kind of a stupid prompt that I put in anyways. But again, if you don't have good stock images for stuff, you can always generate new ones. And yes, Kirsty, all the AI tools support multiple languages right now. So there's even the ability, I forget exactly how to do this. I don't know if you can do it from here. Backslash. I forget. There's a way in app, I'm just forgetting right now, to like even translate stuff into different languages, and it does a pretty good job. Again, as good of a job as ChatGPT does translating other languages, which surprisingly it does very well. So yeah, right now it's escaping me how to do this in app, but you can always take this and drop it into ChatGPT or something. All right, so going back to Campaign Assistant, that was a marketing email, something that is a hassle and takes me a lot of time, takes me a shorter amount of time now. And then something like building a landing page, also cool. And you can see when I go to generate a new asset, it remembers all the stuff that I already had in here. So for the landing page, the CT might be book a call. And so for this, I would just want to make sure I'm adjusting appropriately, but it's nice because I don't have to like retype all of this stuff. So here's my landing page. And again, same thing. I can just have this drop into HubSpot. I'm sure that there's probably too many landing pages, just like earlier, inside this demo portal. But you get the idea. It would drop something in there into the landing page editor with a template, and everything's where it should be. You just have to add some images and, tweak it a little bit. And so much more. So again, Campaign Assistant right now is kind of a satellite app that you can use to drop things into your HubSpot portal. In the future, this is going to be more of an in-app experience where you can just say, hey, I'm wanting to create a campaign, and you just kind of click off the things that you want, give it some information, and it'll generate everything for you in-app, which is nice. Alrighty. So that's it for the tools that I had scheduled to talk about today. As a reminder, ChatSpot, Content Assistant, and Campaign Assistant. ChatSpot is takes two of these worlds and puts them together. So ChatSpot is either a satellite app or it's in-app. Content Assistant is only in-app. So when you're editing a piece of text, anytime you see that little star icon or the word generate, it's probably Content Assistant helping you out. And then Campaign Assistant is on the other end of that spectrum, fully outside of HubSpot, fully a satellite app right now, but over time will be more and more integrated. I'm not sure what's going on there, Kirsty, if that's the link for Campaign Assistant. You might be better off just Googling HubSpot Campaign Assistant and then following the path that gives you. And before I talk about roadmap stuff, Mallory, I just want to go through some things to remember about this technology. So I think the thing that's going to be most affected by this, is, as we've seen, and is pretty obvious, is the content marketing side of things. Everybody's going to be using this technology, whether it's HubSpot, whether it's Jasper, whether it's ChatGPT directly, or whatever you're using. People are going to be using it. If you're not using it, you're probably going to fall behind. So that means that we need to change our strategies around how we generate content moving forward. Jobs are ideally not going to be replaced, only enhanced. I like to imagine a world where we all just get paid to, hang out and just approve work that AI creates for us. We get to go on more vacations. Sounds fun to me. And I think something that's super important moving forward is being really adaptable to this technology and being super transparent about its use. So if people ask you, was this AI generated? You can say it was AI assisted. You should never have something be fully AI generated and just shipped out. You can say this content was written in partnership with AI or something along those lines, making sure to always keep the human in the loop there. And when folks are asking you, like, if you're a content marketing agency, why should I pay you to do this stuff when AI can do it? I think that there's always going to be a through line of, you can pay less for worse stuff, or you can pay for the value that you're getting. The value that you get out of a kick-ass blog article is no different if that blog is written by AI, or if it's written by a human, or if it's written by AI plus human. Although I should say, if it's just AI, the value is probably a little bit less. So the value that someone's getting out of that piece of content, getting their name out there, getting their thought leadership out in the world, value is not really changing there. You as a content creator, your job's a little easier, but that's okay. Jobs should be getting easier. They shouldn't be getting harder. As long as the clients are still getting the same value or an increased value, there's no reason to have to charge less or do anything different in that way. You as the human are still bringing your expertise to that final output, and that's what people are paying for. And get in now. I know it feels like, if you haven't jumped into AI yet super deeply, you might feel super behind. Totally, like, okay to feel that way. But just jump in now and wherever you can, and you'll be ahead of most people still. We're still at the very beginning of this revolution here, so plenty of time to catch up. Okay. So that's my little soapbox there. We're ending right on the hour here. And so I just want to call out this resource that Kiwi's created, HubSpot AI Guide. Let me just drop the link in the chat here.
I would say give us till the end of the day. We were going to link the final file to the webinar recording there. So the landing page is live, but you won't get the download quite yet, because we did want to put in that last bit of information for y'all.
Gotcha. Never mind. Don't click on the link that I just sent.
It'll be in the post email that I send, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I want to open up the floor to some questions, if anybody's got them, to talk about Mallory's question. Is there anything you can share about other enhancements currently on the roadmap? Outside of the stuff that I already mentioned, not really, because that pretty much is the roadmap. What I can say is that AI is at close to the top of priorities for research and development for HubSpot right now. So we're planning on not only keeping up with the competition in terms of AI features, we're planning over time to be trailblazers here and to lead the way in offering these kinds of enhancements and tools. Um, we're still in very much so in a uh, I don't want to say, throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. We're trying to be as intentional as possible with the tools that we're creating, but sometimes a feature will get released. It won't be widely adopted or won't be ready for the market yet. So we'll pull it, try something else. We're trying to be as flexible as possible here and iterative. So things that you should definitely be looking forward to are having the AI outputs be more tied into your HubSpot data. um, the fact that we acquired Clearbit earlier, I think, or later in the year last year, um, means that we're going to have data warehouses available to us and our customers in the future. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Training HubSpot AI tools on your brand voice, so you don't have to do as much editing. All that good stuff is definitely on the horizon. Eventually, we're going to have AI predicting what you want instead of you having to tell it what you want. I'm sure someday. So keep an eye out. And Kirsty, there might be a permissions thing with any of these AI tools. I think if you just look up, if you Google or even ask ChatSpot how to get to the settings for HubSpot AI, you should be able to find it in your settings. You might just have to flip on some switches or something. And Haley, good question about upcoming dev for workflows. So right now, nothing on the roadmap that I'm aware of for AI generated workflows. That's kind of a difficult project to take on. I know that the team is interested in implementing AI into workflows. Um, Ideally, someday you'll be able to just using natural language explain what you want out of a workflow, and the tool will create itself. So that'll be super special, but nothing on the roadmap yet that I'm aware of. Okay.
Yeah, Mallory, I just saw your comment. We are going to upload the actual PDF right after the presentation because there's a link in the footer to go back to the recording. So we didn't have the recording before the event started.
Yeah, so I apologize for sharing that link preemptively, but yeah, Jen will be sending out an email that has the AI guide and recording and everything else. And for any other questions too, the transparency that we have at HubSpot is pretty solid. So you can usually find a ton of information about what we're planning, what we're building, what's already out there, just with a simple Google. Or you can ask ChatSpot to help you find different AI tools or find different HubSpot tools, navigating, using all that good stuff. My biggest CTA today is just get in and play with this stuff. I could talk at you for 10 hours about all the different things that these things can do. Um, but I hope you're at least starting to see and kind of unlock in yourselves the overarching use cases here. And just start playing. That's the biggest CTA I can give you, because it's the best way to learn with this stuff. And don't be discouraged if it's not working out the right way at first. The value comes in when you learn how to interact with AI effectively. That's where the gains come, and that only comes with practice.
All right, great. Well, I don't see any other final questions roll in, but I'm sure Dan is open to connecting on LinkedIn. You can always obviously reach out to us as well. I will send out a recap email shortly once the video processes and gets uploaded to YouTube with not only a link to the slide deck, a link to the video recording, but also to the landing page for this AI guide, since everything will be buttoned up then. All right, thanks everybody. See you soon.